in the community of wine cellars where I live. There's 200 wine cellars, 260.
Really?
But most of that are just small family cellars. Some of them are without wine. Some of them just 100, 200, 300 liters of wine just for the family. But there's like 10, 20 small winemakers making something nice, and it's always interesting to visit somebody and tasting and you know, usually it's not only about the tasting, but about the friendship and talking about normal thing and just this is the Riesling, okay, and then singing and.
Zdeněk, it's so lovely to meet you here on Zoom.
Yes.
And
nice
you
to
are.
meet you too.
So, you are a winemaker in the Czech Republic.
Yes, I'm trying to be.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm a small winemaker and also PhD student at horticulture faculty. Belongs to Mental University from Brno, and now I'm in our wine company, and I'm start as a cellar master maybe. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason why I'm so busy right now, because we start to prepare for the harvest, and now some big thing happens, like selling into supermarket and preparing wine for bottling and preparing for the harvest, and we don't have enough people, and everything is complicated.
So do you work on your family? Is it a family wine farm?
It's not really wine farm. It's just a small cellar. It's really typical for Central Europe, like small family business and wine cellar. But the difference between the France, German, Austria, and the Czech Republic and the east of the Europe is that because of the Soviet Union, that there was no space for family business.
Oh, I see.
So it was just small family wine cellars and a little bit of wine. And now there's lots of, we're just starting to create something like history of family winemaking. So I am the fourth generation of winemakers in my family, maybe more, but officially I'm the first one. I'm just starting the business, make it official and everything.
Amazing. So you come from a time period where your parents, how would they have been making the wine, or how would that have gone? Would that just be for private use that they made the wine?
For private use and for private customers. Like I made the wine with my grandfather, because I'm from the grandfather was from my mother's side.
Okay.
So I start when I was a kid, going to vineyard and to sell, first to work, and of course after that start to drink.
Yeah.
And
but these vineyards, who did the vineyards belong to?
It was also it's complicated because before the revolution, everything belongs to government. And my grandfather take care about some vineyard, but after the end of the Soviet Union and after the revolution, they give the ground back to owners, and suddenly our vineyards starts to not be our vineyards. But we continue to take care about the vineyards, but something they sold something. So it's complicated, and now I have just one small vineyard, and And also I'm buying some grapes.
Oh, I see.
And I have lots of options because I'm working at the university, so we have the university vineyard, and now I'm working in a big company, so it's not a problem to buy some really nice grapes. And now I don't really have time for vineyard, so.
Oh yeah, but now when you made your wine with your grandfather, what was winemaking like? Was it the same as that you do now?
No, not really.
Okay.
It was the old type of winemaking, and lots of sulfur, and everything was really, really hard and tough and acids, and like I said, lots of sulfur. And there was a reason. Yes, okay, grandfather, I know what we are doing here, but why? I was really curious about what we are doing. Just wreck it and add this and why? And he was like, I always did it in this way. So I decided to go to university and discover why.
Okay.
And I take something from my grandfather, take something from the school, and now I'm just trying to put it together and find my way how to make the wine.
But do you think you make wine, if you say a lot of sulfur have been added to the wine, do you try to make the wine now in more natural processes, so more natural fermentation?
Yes, definitely. Maybe something like control natural processes.
Oh, okay. And how's your grandfather going with your plan? Is he accepting it?
Hard to say because he died 4 years ago.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm so sorry.
And he was a really complicated person.
Okay.
It was really hard on me, like, what are you doing? And come on, let's working. And not like that he never said something good to me, something nice, but he was like, and then then when I met some people from who met my grandfather, and they, yes, your grandfather talked about you really nice and that you're a really good boy, and I was like, yes, okay, it's nice to hear it.
Yeah. But now, so what I've also heard from Pietri de Beer was that the whole way of winemaking was different because it's, like you say, it was more a community thing and people shared amongst each other. Is that right? That so everybody had their own little cellar and then you would buy directly from the cellar. So has that changed a lot now in the Czech Republic?
Not really.
Okay.
I think it's still the same, but the quality of wine increased. That the young generation started to make it in a good way and focus on quality, not on quantity. And in the community of wine cellars where I live, there's 200 wine cellars, 260.
Really?
But most of that are just small family cellars. Some of them are without wine. Some of them just 100, 200, 300 liters of wine just for the family. But there's like 10, 20 small winemakers making something nice, and it's always interesting to visit somebody and tasting and you know, usually it's not only about the tasting, but about the friendship and talking about normal thing and just, yeah, this is the Riesling, okay, and then singing and.
But as you said the young winemakers coming up now doing it a bit different. But is there a community feel between you also? Do you learn from each other or do you help each other?
Sometimes, yes. Usually the the older winemakers ask me about something, and usually it's not really the yes or no questions, but
okay.
And I always said, it's more complicated.
Okay.
Why I have so many acetic acid in the wine, and it's more about the grape and about the way. It's not that you just add something and it disappears. You need to think about the grapes and everything. And yes, okay, you're right. And so it's really hard with all winemakers and young winemakers. I think that they're trying to learn. Some of them also visit school or not, but yes, it's nice to talk with them and not learn, but I more sometimes learn them something.
But do you look? So, to which countries do you look for inspiration, or is it something very typical to the Czech Republic about your wines?
I think that Austria is something what we can be, but lots of people trying to do like Bordeaux wine and some heavy red wine and I think we still trying to find our way in Czech Republic. Now we starting with new appellation system. It's totally messy. Everybody making everything everywhere. But now there's some typical grape variety for this region, for this region, and it's slowly starting to make sense what we're doing in Czech Republic. And also the new grape variety. I think we need to focus what's typical for us, what's typical for Central Europe. So now the Welsh Riesling is really typical. It's only in Czech Republic, Austria, Slovakia, and Hungary. And some red grape variety like Blaufränkisch is also typical and nice fruity red wine. But now everybody wants to make like Merlot and Cabernet, and it's still not weather for this grape in South Moravia. But yes, it's getting hotter and hotter. But not this summer. We have lots of rain this week, and it's really cold. It's like 10 degrees in the morning, and it's August. Oh.
Yeah, we have the same in Austria now. It's also not the best summer that you can get. But now what you're saying is that you think that the Czech Republic should find their own specific wine, or not find it, but have their own specific wine that you promote yourselves with.
Yes. And I think we need to make some good marketing and start to export, because there's lots of good winemakers. We're winning prizes all around the world with our white wine like Rieslings or Tramin, really nice wine. The problem is that we still import like 60% of wine for our consumption, mostly the bulk wine from South Europe and now from all around the world, because there's a problem with wine in all around the world, what to do with the wine because of the crisis and everything. So in the supermarket, there's lots of wine from South Africa, Australia, everything. And problem is that everything is in the supermarket, and the supermarket in Czech Republic belongs mostly to Germans, Netherlands, and they don't care about that. It's not Czech wine because it's cheaper. So for the big company, it's really hard times right now. The small family business are okay because we are still focusing on the private clients or for the friends, and our store is still winning, so we are okay. But the middle one and the bigger one, are in danger, and it's connected with grape production, because if the big company stop selling our wines, what we will do with the grapes?
Yeah.
So the producers stop with the grape production, and everything goes down.
But now you say there's a history in the Czech Republic with the wine, but it's a different history than the rest of the world. But do you have old vineyards in your area?
Yes, we have lots of. I think the average age of vineyard is like 30, 35 years. We have lots of old vineyards, like 40, 45 years old. And if you take care about the soil, it's not a problem to have like nice 50 years old vineyard. But it's really expensive to replace the vineyard. And now when we have problem with the selling, why to grow more grapes. So I'm a little bit nervous about the future of Czech winemaking.
Really? But the old vines seem to have also their charm, and people tend to sometimes prefer that wine from the old vineyards.
Yes, I think it's mostly about the yield, because when you have old vineyards, there's just few grapes, and the quality is higher. Of course, the berries are smaller, and everything is more concentrated. And I also have like 45 years old vineyard with the Chardonnay and the Riesling, and it's a southwest side of the hill, and always the best wine in the season.
That's amazing. But now tell me about your label and your wine. What is the story there?
About what?
Your wine, the wine that you specifically make.
Where to start? I'm trying to focus on the typical variety, because from when I was young, we still take care about the same vineyard. So the Rieslings and some Chardonnay and some, like I said, Blaufränkisch, Zweigeltrebe, like typical variety, and it's something what I want to focus on. I really like the Welsh Riesling, and depends on variety. I have like some fresh wine, and depends on the grape and vintage. For example, the 2022 was like average vintage. Wines are dry, like 12.5%, and it's really it's like traveling back to history and taste the wine from my grandfather, because the ripening was not really high. So
okay.
So when I drink this last vintage, it's like, yeah, this is wine from my grandfather.
Amazing. But tell me now, the young generation now in the Czech Republic, do they are they wine drinkers? Do they understand wine, and is there sort of they understand the history of the wine in the Czech Republic?
Some of them, yes, but I think it's like everywhere. There's people who make wine just for the business, just for the money. There's lots of small winemakers, high educated and focusing on the nature and on the soil and the natural nature winemaking. It's starting to be quite popular, and there's lots of different ways in Czech Republic.
Do you have some wine routes? Can somebody visit there and go to all the different cellars? Is that
Yes.
type of thing? Do you do that?
Yes, we have something called like open cellar days.
Yeah.
In different villages, and local wine tasting. They collect lots of wine from different winemakers, and mainly not official winemakers like the family cellars. On one place, there's some degustation, making points, and then people come, pay something, and they can taste everything. And for example, in my village, it's usually about 1,000 samples.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
But it's not. It's more about the drinking and entertainment. That yes, you can see some winemakers with the paper and making notes about the wines, and you can taste lots of wine from friends, because you don't really have time for visiting everybody.
But can you also then buy the wine there?
Not really.
It's just a case.
Just for the day. And like I said, most of these winemakers are not official. It's just family winemaking.
Okay. Well, this is so interesting. I would so love to come and visit and see because Pietri told me about this wonderful area where you are and how the people are making wine.
Yeah, because there's lots of small, quiet places with the local people, and I think for Pietri it was really relaxing, because one night I asked him, it's nice without the electric fences and everything, right? And it was like, yes, it's the freedom. There's nobody. There's lots of space and safe place. So this was, I think, this was the reason he was really relaxed.
He really enjoyed it there. But now tell me, what is the wish for you? What is the dream?
No, I think that I want to trying to find the right word to help Czech winemaking grow. That's the reason why I'm staying at the university, why I want to stay at the university, and like I said before, just try to find the right way for Czech winemaking and grape productions, and find the place in the world, between the world winemaking areas. Like Germany, Austria, they have, like, I was in Wachau a few weeks ago, and it was amazing, and I taste the wine, and I was like, we have this really same wine in my company.
Really?
We can make really nice wine, but that's the one thing. The second thing is to sell it, of course.
Oh yeah. But you see the potential for the Czech Republic.
I see the potential, definitely.
Because it must be wonderful. You all these wines and all these winemakers would have their own stories, and it's like you say, the history behind this winemaking, where it came from and where you are now. The Czech Republic has its own story behind the wine, and you come with this very rich history of the way the wine was made in the past, and like you say, how the way your grandfather made the wine, and then now how you are making the wine. It's also maybe in a different way. Yes.
I think you start to understand what's happening here.
Yeah.
And after Second World War, there was 40 years of no family business, and now we just connecting with the history before. And the history of winemaking, it's like from, I don't know, 14th century, 13, maybe longer. So there was lots of vineyards all around the Czech Republic. And now around 17,000 hectares. And there was more than 50.
Mm.
So there's lots of nice places for vineyards and without the vineyards. So there's lots of space where to develop our winemaking.
Well, that's amazing, and it's great to see that you see the potential, and that that you think that the wines are on the same standard as the rest of Europe.